Have you ever felt completely drained? Like no matter what you do, life keeps pulling you down? Like you're stuck in the same exhausting cycles, relationships that take more than they give, a job that drains your soul, or endless worries that leave you feeling powerless? What if I told you that everything is energy, and that the reason you feel this way isn't just bad luck or coincidence, it's your vibration keeping you trapped? Most people live their lives without ever realizing the truth. Reality isn't fixed. It's shaped by your energy, your thoughts, and your emotions. Right now, whether you know it or not, you are creating your own future with the frequency you're operating on. And if you don't take control of your mental and emotional energy, you'll keep attracting the same toxic cycles over and over again. But here's the good news: you can break free. In this video, you're going to discover a secret that will change everything. You'll learn how to protect your energy, how to shift your vibration, and how to finally step into a reality where life flows in your favor. I'll guide you through the hidden forces shaping your life, from energy vampires draining you to the power of intention that can transform your circumstances in ways you never imagined. And by the end of this, you'll have the tools to break free from what's holding you back and start creating the life you were meant to live. So stay with me until the end, because this is the knowledge most people will never tell you. And before we begin, if you believe in the power of spiritual awakening and want to keep unlocking life-changing truths, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Trust me, what you're about to learn will shift your entire perspective on reality. Let's begin. Since ancient times, wise men have intuitively understood that the reality we see and experience around us is not just solid matter, but a vast vibrational field in constant motion. Modern physics, particularly through quantum mechanics, has finally provided scientific evidence for this ancient truth. Everything is energy. Every atom, every particle that makes up our bodies and surroundings vibrates at a specific frequency, interacting with the energetic patterns we create through our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Just as light can behave as both a wave and a particle depending on how it is observed, our reality shapes itself according to the quality of our vibration. What does this mean for us? Simply put, our mental and emotional energy defines what we attract and experience in the flow of life. If this sounds abstract, think about your own experiences. Have you ever noticed how being around certain people leaves you drained while others seem to energize you? That's because we are constantly exchanging energy. When we tune into negative patterns, fear, anxiety, resentment, our vibration drops, making us easy prey for what are often called energy vampires, those who drain our life force and trap us in cycles of emotional exhaustion. On the other hand, when we cultivate energetic balance through gratitude, faith, and the power of intention, we enter a state of harmony with the universe, attracting synchronicity and unexpected opportunities. This is where personal transformation begins, as we learn how to protect our energy and use our vibration to our advantage. The Bible had already taught this principle long before quantum physics did. Proverbs 23:7 states, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." In other words, what we cultivate internally reflects in our external reality. Jesus also revealed that faith is a powerful vibrational mechanism when he said, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move." Matthew 17:20. This proves that our mental and emotional energy has the power to shape the world around us. The concept of transurfing, a modern method that teaches how to change reality by altering personal vibration, is essentially a practical application of these ancient spiritual principles, long forgotten by many. But if everything is energy and our vibration determines our reality, how can we raise our frequency and avoid falling into destructive patterns that keep us from living fully? The answer lies in awareness. When we become conscious of how our thoughts and emotions affect our vibration, we start making choices that align with our true essence. We begin to recognize that certain people, habits, and environments drain our energy, while others recharge it. This spiritual awakening allows us to break free from the pendulums that drag us into negative cycles and finally enter the flow of life in an authentic and powerful way. Quantum physics, the Bible, and human experience all point to the same truth. Our reality is a reflection of our inner state. Once we understand this, we become the architects of our own destiny, as we learn to raise our vibration and apply the law of attraction consciously. This is not magic or blind optimism, but rather the application of knowledge that has always been available to those willing to see beyond the illusion. And this is exactly what Anna, the protagonist of our story, began to realize when, amid the chaos of her exhausting life, she first discovered the concept of transurfing. Anna was just like many people, trapped in a suffocating routine, living on autopilot, without realizing how much her mental and emotional energy was being drained every single day. Her job felt meaningless, a never-ending cycle of stress that left her exhausted. At home, things weren't any better. Her relationship, once filled with love and excitement, had turned into a toxic prison. The constant criticism, the emotional manipulation, the feeling that she could never do enough, it all chipped away at her spirit, making her believe that this was just how life was supposed to be. She had lost herself, disconnected from any sense of purpose, and worst of all, she had no idea how to change her reality. But then, something unexpected happened. One evening, while aimlessly scrolling through her phone, she stumbled upon a book that introduced her to transurfing. At first, it sounded strange, almost too good to be true. Could she really change her reality just by shifting her energy? Was it possible that her thoughts, emotions, and vibration had been shaping the very experiences she had been struggling against? The more she read, the more it made sense. The book explained how everything is energy, how her mental and emotional state was attracting the same draining cycles over and over again. It wasn't just about her job or her relationship. Her entire life had been running on autopilot, controlled by external forces that fed off her energy without her even noticing. For the first time in years, Anna felt a spark of hope. If reality wasn't as rigid as she had once believed, then maybe, just maybe, she had more power than she thought. She started small. She began paying attention to the energy vampires in her life, the people, situations, and even thoughts that drained her. She noticed how her toxic relationship kept her trapped in a low-frequency state, how her workplace thrived on stress and fear, and how her own self-doubt was acting as a silent enemy, keeping her stuck. And so, she made a decision. She would no longer be a victim of circumstances. She would learn how to protect her energy, how to shift her vibration, and most importantly, how to reclaim control over her own life. Of course, it wasn't easy. The moment Anna started setting boundaries, the pendulums of negativity around her fought back. Her partner accused her of being selfish. Her colleagues mocked her for trying to think differently. Even her own mind resisted, clinging to old fears, whispering that she wasn't strong enough to make a change. But she pressed on, fueled by a new understanding of synchronicity and the power of intention. The more she focused on her spiritual awakening, the more the universe seemed to respond. Small signs, unexpected opportunities, moments of clarity that felt like divine guidance, leading her towards something better. And then, something remarkable happened. One day she woke up and realized she could no longer stay in that toxic environment. The weight of everything she had been carrying, the exhaustion, the fear, the self-doubt, suddenly felt like it wasn't hers to hold anymore. She saw her reality for what it truly was, a reflection of her past energy, one that she no longer aligned with. And in that moment, Anna knew it was time to break free. As Anna embarked on her journey of personal transformation, she quickly realized that energy was not just some abstract concept. It was something tangible, something that influenced every aspect of her life. The book she had found broke energy down into 4 key types: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Each played a crucial role in shaping her experiences, and the more she understood them, the clearer it became why she had been stuck for so long. She had been running on empty, unaware of how her energy was being drained in ways she had never considered. Physical energy was the most obvious. It was the fuel that kept her body moving, the vitality she needed to go through her daily routine. But for years, she had neglected it. Poor sleep, unhealthy food, chronic stress. She realized that her exhaustion wasn't just mental. Her body itself was struggling to keep up. She had been ignoring the warning signs, pushing through fatigue like it was a badge of honor, never stopping to think that her drained physical energy was affecting every other part of her life. Then there was mental energy, the fuel for her thoughts, focus, and decision-making. Anna had never questioned the way she processed the world. Her thoughts felt like they just happened to her. But now, she began to see the truth. Every time she engaged in negative thinking patterns, every moment she spent worrying about things beyond her control, she was depleting her mental energy. She wasn't just physically tired, her mind was exhausted, caught in an endless loop of stress and overthinking. No wonder she had felt trapped. But perhaps the most revealing discovery was the impact of emotional energy. She had been unknowingly giving it away to energy vampires, people who fed off her kindness, her attention, her willingness to always put others first. Every argument, every moment of self-doubt, every emotional wound she had carried for years had been slowly draining her. And just like that, she saw why she had been feeling so empty. She had never learned how to protect her energy, how to set boundaries, and break free from the emotional weight she had been carrying for so long. And finally, there was spiritual energy, the most powerful and yet the most overlooked. This wasn't just about religion or faith. It was about connection, about feeling aligned with something greater than herself. She had spent so many years disconnected from her own spirit, lost in the noise of daily life, that she had forgotten what it felt like to truly be in the flow of life. But now, things were changing. As she started aligning with her higher self, she began to experience synchronicity, moments of unexpected clarity and guidance that felt like whispers from the universe. Anna now understood. If she wanted to truly change her reality, she had to manage her energy on all levels. The shift had begun. As Anna became more aware of her mental, emotional, and spiritual energy, she began to notice something unsettling. Certain people and situations seemed to drain her in ways she had never realized before. She would enter a room feeling fine, but after a conversation with a particular colleague or a phone call with a certain friend, she felt exhausted, anxious, or even doubtful of herself. It was as if her energy had been siphoned away, leaving her depleted. That's when she learned about energy vampires, individuals who consciously or unconsciously feed off the energy of others, leaving them emotionally and spiritually drained. The book described them as pendulums, energetic forces that keep people trapped in cycles of negativity. Some of these energy vampires were easy to recognize, those who thrived on drama, constantly complained, or made everything about themselves. But others were far more subtle, hiding behind masks of kindness and concern, while slowly taking more than they gave. Anna realized that her toxic relationship was a prime example. Every conversation with her partner left her feeling guilty, small, and powerless, as if she had to constantly prove her worth. The more she tried to please him, the more he took, feeding off her energy without giving anything in return. But it wasn't just about people. Anna started to see how certain situations could also act as energy vampires. Her job, for example, had a culture of stress and fear, where everyone was constantly on edge. Every morning she walked into the office already feeling drained, as if she was stepping into an environment designed to keep her in survival mode. Even her own thought patterns could become energy-draining loops, dwelling on past mistakes, worrying about things outside of her control, or allowing self-doubt to take over. She was beginning to understand that protecting her energy wasn't just about avoiding toxic people. It was about setting energetic boundaries in every area of her life. At first, breaking free from these energy vampires wasn't easy. The moment she started distancing herself from negative influences, resistance appeared. People who once relied on her emotional energy tried to pull her back in, guilt tripping her, accusing her of being selfish or playing the victim. But Anna had made her decision. She began practicing energy protection techniques, visualizing a shield of light around her before difficult conversations, using affirmations to reinforce her emotional boundaries, and choosing where to invest her attention. Slowly, she reclaimed her power of intention, directing her energy toward people and activities that truly nourished her. As she did this, something incredible happened. The more she withdrew from these energy-draining patterns, the more space she created for synchronicity and alignment. She found herself meeting new people who uplifted and inspired her. She discovered that, when she wasn't constantly exhausted from fighting for her own energy, she had more creativity, clarity, and joy than she ever imagined. For the first time in years, she felt truly alive, as if she had stepped out of a fog she didn't even know she was living in. Anna had broken free from the grip of energy vampires. But now a bigger question emerged. If energy shaped reality, then how could she use it to create the life she truly wanted? The answer lay in the power of intention. Anna had spent most of her life reacting to circumstances, believing that life simply happened to her. But as she freed herself from energy vampires and reclaimed control over her mental and emotional energy, she realized something profound. She had the ability to shape her reality. The book she was reading explained that intention was not just about wishing for something. It was a force, an energy that could direct the course of her life. Everything she focused on with clarity and conviction carried a vibrational imprint, influencing the world around her. The Bible had spoken of this long before quantum physics provided scientific explanations. You will also declare a thing, and it will be established for you. Job 22:28. Jesus himself said, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Mark 11:24. Anna realized that these weren't just metaphors. They were instructions on how to change reality by aligning mental, emotional, and spiritual energy with the outcome she desired. The more she read, the clearer it became. Life wasn't about forcing things to happen, but about tuning into the right frequency so that the flow of life naturally moved in her favor. She began experimenting with intention setting. Every morning, instead of waking up and letting her thoughts drift into stress and worry, she consciously directed her energy. She used affirmations, visualizing herself stepping into a reality where she was thriving, respected, and fulfilled. At first it felt strange. Her logical mind resisted, reminding her of all the reasons why change was difficult. But then, small shifts started happening. Conversations that would have once drained her suddenly felt lighter. Unexpected opportunities appeared. She started experiencing synchronicities, a book recommendation, a new connection, a chance encounter, all aligning with the new reality she was creating. Anna understood now that reality wasn't something rigid. It responded to her vibration. She had spent years unknowingly reinforcing her own suffering by focusing on fear, self-doubt, and toxic patterns. But now, she was intentionally choosing a different path. Instead of dwelling on the past, she asked herself, "What do I truly want? What energy am I sending out into the world today? And most importantly, do my thoughts align with the future I desire?" As Anna continued to refine her practice, she noticed something remarkable. The more she trusted in the process, the less she felt the need to control every little detail. She let go of attachment to specific outcomes and instead focused on elevating her energy. And the more she did this, the smoother life became. Doors that once seemed closed were opening effortlessly. She was no longer fighting against the current. She was finally moving with the flow of life. And with this newfound awareness, Anna faced her biggest realization yet. When you align with intention and energy, life begins to guide you in unexpected ways. This is where synchronicity becomes impossible to ignore. As Anna deepened her understanding of intention and energy, she began noticing something strange. Things were aligning in ways that felt too precise to be mere coincidence. A song would play at the exact moment she was thinking about someone. She would randomly open a book and find the answer to a question that had been on her mind. People she needed to meet seemed to appear at just the right time. These moments felt like whispers from the universe, guiding her towards something greater. She had read about this before. It was called synchronicity, and it was a sign that she was moving in harmony with the flow of life. This wasn't just a mystical idea. Even the Bible spoke of divine alignment. "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Proverbs 3:6. When Jesus sent his disciples on a mission, he instructed them not to worry about provisions, for everything they needed would be provided along the way. Luke 10:4-7. This was the essence of spiritual flow. When one operates in faith and alignment, life itself clears the path. The problem was that most people, including Anna in her past, resisted this natural current, trying to force life through fear, doubt, and control. But now Anna saw the difference. Before, she had felt like she was constantly swimming against the current, fighting obstacles, struggling for every inch of progress. But ever since she started aligning her vibration with clarity and trust, things had begun to flow. She realized that the universe, or perhaps something even greater, was always trying to guide her, but she had been too lost in negativity to notice. She was finally learning to listen. She started trusting her intuition more. If a situation felt heavy, forced, or draining, she knew it was out of alignment. If things unfolded effortlessly, she saw it as confirmation that she was on the right path. The old Anna would have ignored these signs, dismissing them as random events. But the new Anna understood. Everything is energy, and life was responding to hers. Every interaction, every choice, every thought was a signal she was sending out, and the flow of life was simply reflecting it back to her. The realization was both exhilarating and humbling. She no longer felt like a victim of circumstances. She was co-creating her reality, and as long as she stayed aligned, synchronicity would continue to guide her. But deep down, she knew she still had one final battle to face, the choice that would define her transformation. She had taken back her energy, but was she ready to leave behind the life that no longer served her? Anna had spent months transforming her mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. She had broken free from energy vampires, learned to harness the power of intention, and witnessed firsthand the undeniable force of synchronicity. But there was still one final piece holding her back: her toxic relationship. The man she once loved had become a source of constant exhaustion, manipulation, and doubt. And now, for the first time, she saw the truth. She wasn't just in a bad relationship, she was in an energetic trap, bound by old fears and attachments. If she truly wanted to step into her new reality, she had to make a choice. She thought back to the days when she had convinced herself that staying was easier, that leaving would be too painful, that maybe if she just tried a little harder, things would get better. But now she saw things clearly. She had been pouring her energy into something that was never meant to grow. She had been fighting to hold on to something that was keeping her in low vibration. She remembered what she had read about quantum energy. You cannot step into a higher reality while still clinging to the old one. And in that moment, she knew what she had to do. The day Anna left was both terrifying and liberating. Her partner tried every manipulation possible: guilt, anger, even sudden kindness, as if sensing that his energetic supply was slipping away. But she stood firm. She had finally learned how to protect her energy, and nothing was going to pull her back into the cycle she had worked so hard to escape. As she walked away, something unexpected happened. For the first time in years, she felt light. The weight she had carried, years of emotional exhaustion, was suddenly gone. And in its place there was something new: peace. The following weeks were filled with a strange sense of expansion. Without the constant drain of negativity, Anna's mind was clearer, her heart lighter, and almost immediately life responded. New opportunities appeared. People who truly supported her started showing up. She felt as if she had stepped into an entirely new vibrational frequency. The old life felt like a distant memory, as if it belonged to someone else. And in a way it did. The old Anna had been trapped in fear. The new Anna was walking in alignment with the flow of life. One evening, as she sat on her balcony watching the sunset, she thought about how far she had come. She wasn't the same person anymore. She had broken free. She had discovered her own power. And yet, she knew her journey wasn't over. True spiritual evolution never ends. But for the first time in her life, she wasn't afraid of the unknown. She was excited for it. And just when she thought she had left her past behind completely, life surprised her. She crossed paths with João, someone she had not seen in years. And in that moment, she realized that the universe was presenting her with one final test. Would she reach back to those from her past, or would she protect the new reality she had worked so hard to create? As Anna stood face to face with João, memories of the past flooded her mind. They had once been close, but life had pulled them in different directions. And now, here he was, standing before her, looking different, calmer, lighter, as if he too had undergone his own transformation. For a moment she wondered, was this another synchronicity, a sign from the universe, or was this a test, a reminder that not everyone from her past was meant to follow her into this new chapter? She listened as João spoke about his own journey. He had gone through struggles just as she had. He had faced his own energy vampires, learned painful lessons, and was now on a path of spiritual awakening himself. Anna couldn't ignore the irony. Months ago, she had desperately wished for her toxic partner to change, to evolve alongside her. But no matter how much energy she had poured into that relationship, it had only drained her. Now, standing before João, she realized something crucial. You cannot force someone's transformation. People change only when they are truly ready and not a moment before. But the bigger question wasn't about João. It was about her. Anna had fought to reclaim her energy, to align with the flow of life, to finally step into a reality where she felt free. And now she faced the choice that every transformed soul must face. Do you extend your hand to those who once hurt you? Do you risk letting old energy back in? Or do you protect what you've built? She didn't have an answer right away. Transformation isn't about rushing decisions. It's about trusting the vibration of the moment. And so she simply smiled, letting life unfold naturally. Whatever path João was on, it was his to walk. She didn't need to fix, save, or prove anything to anyone anymore. The only thing she needed to do was stay true to her own journey. As Anna walked away from that encounter, she felt something shift inside her. The old Anna would have second-guessed herself, feared making the wrong choice. But the new Anna knew. Everything is energy, and as long as she remained aligned with her highest vibration, life would continue to guide her exactly where she was meant to be. Her transformation was complete, but her journey, that was just beginning. Now that you understand the truth about energy, vibration, and how they shape your reality, the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to keep repeating the same cycles, letting energy vampires drain you, staying trapped in a reality that no longer serves you? Or are you ready to step into your power of intention and start creating the life you truly deserve? I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced synchronicity guiding you towards something greater? Have you ever felt a shift in your energy and noticed how your reality changed? Drop your experience in the comments, because your story might inspire someone else to wake up too. And if this video resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another life-changing insight. And before you go, check out the next video on your screen. It's going to take everything you've learned here to an even deeper level. This is Celestial Truths, and I'll see you in the next one.